Greetings to everyone out there in YouTube land. I'm Ahmed Hassanin, and I just want to give a shout out to Coach Dan. Thank you for all the support you show the team and the players. Everyone hit the like, subscription button, and yell woo in the comments. Thank you, and go Lions.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Well, guess what day it is? That's right. It is game day. Oops. All right, there we go. Hey, guess what day it is? It is game day, game number 1 day across the NFL, at least if you're not one of the two games participants that have already played. But it's a game day number 1 for the Detroit Lions, and as you can probably tell for the thumbnail for this one, you know what? Lions got a whole lot of good news overnight. So greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I'm glad that you're all awake and ready for this first day against Green Bay. Jameson Williams gets a contract extension. Man, we got a whole lot of things to talk about for this show. You know, we've been all wondering why Zadarius Smith wasn't re-signed. One thing could be true. Maybe they didn't want him. Another thing could be true. They want to invest that money into players currently with the team that they drafted, have developed. You know what? I think Jameson Williams, this might be a smart move by Brad Holmes, because from all different reports, we saw some stuff with it last year towards the end of the season. You can see where J-Mo is really becoming one of the bigger threats across the NFL as a wide receiver. And now they're locking him in for a whole lot less money than they would have to pay him 2 years from now when his rookie year finally does fully extinguish. All right. Before we get into the Jameson Williams news, before we start breaking down today's first game of the regular season against Green Bay on the, not-so-frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, we're going to get into 5 headlines now and everything else. Before we do that, though, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We are 63 subs away from hitting 14,500 subs, so if you can help out with that, man, I would surely be thankful. Also, if you have a free second in time, it won't cost you a dime. Reach on down, left, right, center of your screen, wherever it may be. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. We try to get every episode of the show between 200, 300, 400 or more thumbs up or likes. Last but most certainly never least, if you are perhaps looking for something to read, maybe you like historically accurate fictional novels, go ahead and go over to Amazon.com, eBay, or wherever you find great reading literature and order yourself a copy of Kajora Book. It is the first in a 9-part series. The second release is later this year. If you like Native Americans, if you like Japanese cultures, if you like ninjas, samurai warriors, and everything else that goes along with both those cultures, then maybe go check this out. You'll find it a good read, and if you like it, leave a kind review wherever you ordered that from. All right, with all that done, set out of the way, let's get this show rocking and rolling and going and kicking off with 5 headlines now. All right, we've got some glorious headlines for everybody to digest this morning. The 5 headlines now. All right, first one up. Lions make multiple roster moves ahead of Week 1 opener with the Packers. 2 more point towards possible long-term injuries. A to Z Sports, story by Mike Payton. Hey, I almost thought about going on air about this last night, but then I was like, you know what? I don't think it's that big of news. One of them is going to be a little bit of a longer-term thing, though, and that's when Jamarco Jones was placed on the injured reserve list. Jamarco Jones, for those who don't know, he messed up his ankle. We don't know the full extent of what happened, just that he's not going to be back with the Lions for at least 4 weeks if they do bring him back from the IR. This is going to be a big thing going forward because what do the Lions do to replace him? We all know Dan Skipper was cut from the team, then brought back on the practice squad. No word, at least as of right now when I'm going on air, if he's going to be elevated to the 53-man roster, which, as you guys know, on game days is 48. But this now brings a lot of things into question. Right now, the only backup official tackle for the Lions on the active roster is Giovanni Manu. So if something were to happen to Taylor Decker or Penei Sewell, that means Manu would be stepping into that role. Does that mean he's really ascended enough where they feel comfortable putting him in one of those spots? There's been all sorts of speculation, whether he needs another year to season, this, that, the other thing. The only thing I can tell you is what we've seen in preseason games. He does look developed to me. He looks more improved. Do I want him to be a starting left tackle or right tackle for Lions? Probably more the right tackle than the left. I just feel like from what I've seen on the games, you guys can have your own opinions. He's probably going to do a little bit better there. Plus, there's more likelihood he would get help from a tight end, running back, etc. We'll have to see how this plays out, what the Lions do, but my anticipation would be somewhere in the foreseeable future, you're going to see Dan Skipper elevated, but at least as of right now, not yet. All right, next thing with this story, the Lions have elevated Anthony Pittman, the linebacker from the practice squad, with Trevor Nowatzki out. This does make some sense. You want a little bit more depth there, and we're going to find out one way or another today if the Lions are going to use more 4-backer sets, go to more of a 3-4. Pittman, though, in his defense, he's a pretty good special teams player. While he can play linebacker, plays at a pretty good level, is he going to beat out anybody to be a starter? No. Is he going to add some depth? Yes. And his special teams abilities will be added and noteworthy. Last of this story is Jacob Sailors. A lot of you guys have been pushing for this guy. We're surprised he wasn't part of the 53-man roster. He is right now. So he will be backing up Gibbs, Monty, and Craig Reynolds. They're going to bring him up. They're going to have 4 running backs for day. I think with both Pittman's elevation and Sailors, this is an indication, at least in my view, Sailors or the running back room are going to be used a whole lot today. At least that's part of the initial game plan for John Morton, MC, DC, etc. And with Pittman, I do think you're going to see a lot of 4 linebacker sets. They're going to try to put pressure with athleticism, probably some blitzes, things of that sort on Jordan Love. And this just, for at least me, is where I'd be gambling that the Lions are going to focus on the running game more and more, and then getting after Jay Love with pressure from the outside backers, etc. We'll see how it plays out later today. All right, next to the 5 headlines now. Detroit Lions depth chart today versus Packers. Offensive line, edge, depth under spotlight in opener, Ben Raven, MLive.com. All right, so we're going to do a couple different things with this story. We're going to bring up the Packers' projected starting lineup, then the Detroit Lions. Let's analyze them. And hey, guess what? I've got some graphics for you today. All right, Jordan Love's projected to be the starter. Josh Jacobs, I would say he's a focal point for the Lions offense. Not a big surprise there. MCDC, as you guys know, he wants to force teams to be very one-dimensional. We'll see if they can do that by limiting Josh Jacobs. Jacobs had a phenomenal season, at least in my opinion, last year. So if they can stop him, keep him to limited yards, force more second and third and longs, you know what? We were just talking about the 4-backer set, trying to put more athleticism out there and speed. We'll see if they can do that. Also, the rookie Matthew Golden's going to be out there. At least that's a projection for the starting lineup. We get it. Kid's got crazy speed. He's looked good in preseason. Let's see how he does against the Detroit Lions secondary. You can go through the rest of the list there. I'd say one of the next big matchups that I'm going to want to see is the Packers right tackle Zach Tom against, I'm anticipating, Aiden Hutchinson if he lines up where he normally does. That will be one of the premium matchups. If Tom struggles with Hutch, you know what? We've heard all preseason about Hutch going off, doing this, that, and the other thing in training camp. We'll see if that holds water today. All right, let's bring up the Packers D, see what we're more than likely going to be going up against. Let me move that one on the stage. All right. Gary, we all know he's one of the premium pass rushing ends out there, and now you're going to put him opposite Micah Parsons. Parsons, it sounds like more and more in the national media, whether you want to credit ESPN, Fox Sports, or whoever, sounds like he's going to play today, but it's probably going to be on a little bit of a pitch count to help protect that back. I did some Scooby-Dooing about his injury. It does sound like if he got the cortisone shot, that the inflammation in that L5, L4 would greatly dissipate in a 24-hour window. That doesn't happen for everybody who takes a shot, but it does happen for the vast majority of people who take that shot. So if that holds water, he's probably able to play today and probably for the foreseeable future. It really comes down to how his body responds to that shot. We'll find out. I'm sure the Lions are going to target him one way or the other just to test him out. Beyond that, you guys already know the Packers have some injuries in that secondary. Yes, guys like Nate Hobbs are coming back from some injuries. Xavier McKinney has been dealing with a few things here and there. So the Lions, they've got a passing attack. We're all heard about John Morton's vertical passing attack and how he wants to put more pressure out there. Jameson Williams just got paid. Lions are clearly anticipating he's going to go off. So what do? You probably test them out early and often and see how they respond. All right, now let's pull up the Detroit Lions projected starters. Let's start off with, I tell you what, we'll start off with the offense here. Let me bring this up here on the screen as I keep trying to throw more and more graphics on the show to try to make it a little bit more visually pleasing for you guys. No surprises here. Jared Goff's projected to be the starting quarterback. Gibbs, St. Brown, Williams, Khalif Raymond is who I've got out there for the wide receiver number 3. Doesn't mean Tesla doesn't get some run, doesn't get some play, but right now that's the anticipation. Sam Laporta, he should be fully healthy by now out there. Offensive line, I don't think I'm surprising anybody with Taylor Decker, Christian Mahogany, Graham Glasgow, Tate Ratledge, and Penei Sewell. If you guys think there's somebody else who is going to be out there in the starting lineup, by all means, let me know in the comment section if you would be so kind. All right, now I got to pull up the last one here, so I got to manually type these in. Hopefully you guys don't mind it too much, and let's go with the Detroit Lions projections for the defense. And there you go. Hutchinson, Tidley, the Freak Williams, DJ Reader, Marcus Davenport. We'll be talking about him in another headline here. Alex Anzalone, Jack the Hammer Campbell. How about that? Derek the Hitman Barnes, Terrion Arnold, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, DJ Reed, and Meek Robinson. Probably no surprises there for anybody out there. Although I do think the Lions are going to have, by the end of the season, if this all holds water, we all stay healthy, I do think the Detroit Lions defense is going to be a top 5 unit. That also being said, one thing we might be seeing here today with both teams is that I think there's some real potential. Both the Lions and the Packers could both finish in the top 5 for offense and defense. I think both teams are that good. Maybe I'm giving to the Packers too much credit. I don't know. I just think they've got some real weapons on both sides of the ball. I like the Lions' talent more. Maybe I'm a homer. I'm trying to be as fair as I can be and as nonpartisan as I can be. But I do think the Lions have one of the best offenses in the NFL. I think it's actually going to be better this year than it was last year. Part of that I've talked about before in the show. I think while the Lions' offensive line is different than the last few years, I think it's more athletic than it has been in a few years. I think they're going to be able to get out, and we'll probably see it today. Whole lot more mobility on the running game, getting out wide, kicking in the edges, the screen games, things of that sort. I think they're going to use it a lot, and I think they're going to cause some havoc out there. In regards to the defense, I do think you are going to see Blitzburg unleashed. I just believe in every part of my soul, unless I'm proven otherwise. I think Kelvin Shepard's it's his mantra, his mentality. Him as a coach, I think he wants constantly to force Jordan Love and every quarterback we see this year to have to think, make adjustments at the offensive line. If you make the wrong one, he's going to go full down capers. Somebody's going to drop out of that line into a spot you're not anticipating. Somebody else is coming and putting pressure on the quarterback and that offensive line that they weren't anticipating. It's going to be a chess match every snap, and I think that's going to probably provide, especially early in the year, a lot more success for the Lions than anything else. All right, let's move off that headline. Probably spent a little too much time with it. Let's see. Lions and Aiden Hutchinson have had positive discussions about a new contract. This is coming from our friends at Pro Football Talk by Michael David Smith. This is right on the heels, as you guys can see with the main topic of the day, Jameson Williams getting a new deal. I don't think Hutchinson's deal, per this report, is very far behind. It would make a lot of sense. Both Jay Powell and Aiden Hutchinson, they both have 2 years left on their rookie deals. Once those are done, you're going to have to pay them unless you're not going to keep them. So if you can sign them today, think about how much money you're going to save in time. My question would be, when you do Hutchinson's extension, is it a 3 or 4 year deal? There's no wrong answer. Just how long do you want to commit to him? Jameson Williams' deal, as you guys know, it's a 3-year extension, so he's here for at least 5 more years. I think they got a real good deal, especially if what we're hearing about him is going to hold water. Hutchinson, there's been all sorts of speculation. Are they not going to re-sign him because they want confirmation that the leg is fully healed, that he's the same player? Man, what you've seen in training camp, what you've seen in these scrimmages with other teams, he's just been a monster out there. If he goes out today and has a gajillion sacks and pressures on the quarterback, I would say, man, get that pen and paper to him at halftime, get him signed up, because you can never foretell when somebody's going to get hurt. You can tell when somebody's playing their butt off, and showing promise that they're going to get better and better. I think Williams and Hutchinson both have that in them. They're both very young. Why would you not want to get him at today's prices versus 2027 prices, which we get probably by 2027? You're paying a Hutch type defensive end, not $50 million a season. You're probably playing closer to $70 million. So you know what? You're going to do better for the financial aspects of running the team if you get them now versus then. All right, two Packer players Detroit Lions have to worry about. Detroit Lions on SI, story by John Macron. I couldn't agree more. There are a couple guys you probably want to pay attention to. Let's talk about it. We kind of already have talked about him a little bit. Matthew Golden, he's a rookie. Most rookie wide receivers do not come to this league and put up big numbers. That being said, Golden has the ability to stretch the field, whether you're talking about slant routes, crossing patterns, or deep shots down the field. You're going to see him run a lot of the same type of route tree that you're going to see a St. Brown or a Jameson Williams run. Because of that, he's going to put some stress and pressure on your back half of the secondary. One or two mess-ups, and this guy can do a house call. It would be my opinion, the Lions want to really force the Packs to go short field, everything, 3 to 5 yard dink and dunk type plays, because eventually mistakes happen. Passes get tipped, things get dropped, maybe a little bit behind, especially early in a season when you have a quarterback who hasn't taken a bunch of reps during the preseason, and that's where you get turnovers. That's my opinion. I think the Lions are going to try to, A, Blitzburg, 2, try to go after the quarterback, and 3, force Golden to work underneath a whole lot more than perhaps he wants to. The next one, if we're going to go with that theory, then it's got to be Josh Jacobs. Again, try to keep him to under 2.5 yards a carry, really trying to frustrate the Pack. Try to go on 8 to 12 to 15 play drives in order to score. You do that eventually. I don't care what offense you are going to make a mistake. Now the question becomes, can the defense take advantage of that mistake? And I do think we have a very opportunistic set of Lions players out there on the defensive side of the ball. All right, last of the 5 glorious headlines now. Detroit Lions Marcus Davenport has fiery response to concerns over injury history. Sporting news. You guys might be tired of talking about Zadarius Smith. You might be tired about talking about Marcus Davenport. Guess what? Marcus Davenport's tired about talking about Marcus Davenport. He understands he's been hurt. He's got the label injury prone. He also understands he doesn't care. He's going to go out there and just do everything he can. He's put in all the work he can to not just make himself a better football player, but to try to condition his body to hold up better. Quote, shoot, of course I care. Man, look, I got a heart. My family reads stuff. Davenport said, quote, continuing quote, I should say. And then there's all the aspects. I'm just going to say, skip them, man. I've got to rephrase that word. Honestly, I don't want to say I get mad, but most people that talk stuff, I got to rephrase that word. I will not trade places with. I'm not caring what you guys think. All I can do is go out there, play the next play. Again, I got to edit some of this stuff and move on from that. I'm here to help this team win. I don't care what you guys say. And again, I got to edit some of this stuff. So I get it. This guy's been through all the injuries in the world. He's been beat up. Last year, I would say he took some cheap shots on that elbow, and that's what caused the issue. He tried to play through it. Remember in Arizona, he went to the sideline, even though he'd already blown out some of the ligaments in that elbow, asked to get a sleeve on it. He didn't want to come off the field. Let that sink in. You're basically playing there with a limp arm, and you're willing to go out there and still put that body through more punishment. Give the guy credit for that. He tried it, just didn't work. He just couldn't put any strength behind it. He's fully recovered now. It sounds like he's on a monster season. Both him and Aiden Hutchinson are coming off gruesome injuries. Whether you want to say it's friendly fire with Hutchinson that hurt him, or Davenport, getting kung fu chopped a couple times in the elbow. They're both on a mission. I think they both want to prove to everybody that they're A-okay. We've heard nothing but good things about them from the coaching staff, but also from the other teams. That's where I think you'd get real cooperation and confirmation how good somebody is. It's one thing to say everybody in the Detroit-based media is hyping this guy up. You know what? We're all homers to a degree. We're going to say, hey, they all got an S on their chest and fly around like Superman. I get that. But when you start getting the Miami Dolphins or Houston Texans in this example saying, Davenport and Hutch, man, they've been balling out there. They were tough for us to deal with. They, caused a lot of issues in those joint practices. That's why I think today you're talking about with somebody who could be the biggest winner this season. It could be Marcus Davenport. If he really does perform well and stay healthy, not only did the Lions get a phenomenal contract with this guy for this year, But this young man, you know what? He might have just saved his career. We'll have to wait and see, but he's definitely playing for something with every snap he's out there. All right, let's go on to the main top of the day. You guys already know what it is, but let's break it on down, see how it impacts the team, see how it impacts the season, and yes, probably a few other players on the team. Let's go ahead and get into the main topic of the day. All right, we got live video feed of Jameson Williams warming up at Lambeau Field. All right, so yeah, Jameson Williams, he's probably a pretty happy kid right now, or man today. He's getting paid. His future, at least with the Detroit Lions, for the foreseeable future, is locked on up. 3 years ago, the Detroit Lions made a blockbuster move to acquire Jameson Williams in the 2022 NFL Draft. We all know the Lions had to make a trade, move on up from whatever it was, number 30 to number 12 to get him. We also know that they knew they had to sit around and wait a couple months for him to even be healthy enough to somewhat get on the field in the NFL. About halfway through the season, he got out there in some limited aspects. We also know he's had a couple, I guess you could say, speed bump moments in the NFL, but we also now know he got a 3-year, $83 million extension, and he has 2 years left on his 5-year rookie deal. The Schultz report, I want to give credit where credit's due. They're the first ones to report this, but the Detroit Free Press did confirm it with a couple different people familiar with the situation shortly thereafter. It was like midnight or 1 a.m. when this hit. I didn't want to go on air, so apologies. Williams is scheduled to make $2.64 million this upcoming season, and then he has a 2026 option that spring for $15.49 million. Williams' deal will include a $67 million guarantees with the new deal, so kudos to him. What do you think of Jameson Williams? You know, when he first got here, we all knew he had speed, but every season, at least in my opinion, you can have your own opinion, he's shown a whole lot of growth and development. I've gone on record and saying when we first drafted him and then throughout his actual rookie year, it just didn't look like to me the coaches had done anything with him as far as developing footwork, elbow placement, how to use his hips, how to run routes, just basically be faster than the other guy. At least, again, that's just what my eyes tell me. But I think if you watch the last year and a half or season and a half, you've seen phenomenal growth with him. What we've seen in joint practices this year further confirms that growth and development. Today, he might just end up breaking out of the NFL and put the Detroit Lions offense in just some rare air. We all get Amon-Ra St. Brown is a generational talent and one of the biggest screw-ups for every NFL front office to have not have drafted this guy earlier than the Lions did in the 4th round. With that being said, he's going to get the bulk of defensive coverages early in the season to stop. But now let's also Scooby-Doo this. If you're getting 2 guys on St. Brown, how many are you putting on Jameson Williams? There's only 11 players on the field. How many go on to Sam Laporta? How many are going to be in the front line, the front 7, to try to stop Gibbs or Monty or whoever else you're going to have in the running game? This creates a real problem to me because I do think Jameson Williams is going to have to require 2 defenders just about every snap to stop. Take 2 out of 11, you got 9 left. How many are going after the quarterback? I'm guessing at least 4 or 5. So if you got 4 going after it, out of that 9, you got 5 left. 5 guys now have to cover St. Brown, the running backs out of the backfield, and Sam Laporta. And we haven't even mentioned Khalif Raymond or Isaac Tesla. Jameson Williams, if he becomes the number 1 receiver because of his athleticism and the ability to go downfield, man, oh man, what's that now do to Amon-Ra St. Brown? Can you really leave him in single coverage over and over again? I think we all understand this is a big math problem, and we're going to go to math school or session today starting in Green Bay. What are your guys' thoughts for, let's just start with this. What are your thoughts for Jameson Williams this year? My thoughts right now, I think he's going to score a whole lot of touchdowns. I think he's going to have, probably some of you will disagree with this, but I think he's going to have around 1,200 yards, maybe 10 or so touchdowns, and I'm only going to give him that amount of yardage for one simple reason. There's so many weapons. I don't think Jared Goff is coming out every snap and saying, I'm going to this guy, I'm going to that guy. I think he's just reading the defense, and it becomes a problem. If you can't get pressure on Goff within 2 seconds, he's going to get rid of that ball. If it's anything like Ben Johnson's offense, where it's a lot of quick reads, unless they're intentionally trying to take a deep shot, I think you're going to see the ball get just distributed beautifully across everybody fairly evenly. Because of that, I don't think any one guy is going to have like an 1,800-yard receiving career season, I should say. But I think you're going to see the Lions have potentially 3 people get around 1,000 yards. Think about that for a second. When's the last time you could remember a Detroit Lions offense or any NFL offense potentially having 3,000-yard receivers? Would you be surprised if I said J-Mo has that, St. Brown has that, Sam Laporta, Gibbs have that? I do think you're going to see Gibbs flexed out or motioned out of the backfield. If they get 2 running backs, I'm getting off tangent here, but if they get 2 running backs in the backfield, which I think a lot of us are anticipating, and you see there are, say, 3 linebackers, 4 linebackers out there for the Packers, why wouldn't you just say, all right, declare who's going to go guard him out in the flats, because we're going to motion him out there. That's going to be a problem for every NFL team. All right, I've rambled about these topics a little bit too much. Let's get to the Duke Crew comment section, see what you guys say. Hey, give me your score predictions for today. Give me your thoughts on the Jameson Williams extension. Are you happy with it? Are you sad with it? And how quickly do you think Aiden Hutchinson now gets extended? What do you think he's going to get per season? I think it's going to probably be a wee bit. All right, and one last question for you. Do you still think we're going to be kings of the North by the end of the season? I personally do, although I do think it's going to be a very competitive division. We'll see if the Lions go undefeated in it again. My personal opinion, I know I kind of shared it the other day, I think we're going to be around a 12-win team. Doesn't mean we couldn't win 11. Doesn't mean we couldn't win 13. Who knows? Maybe we just decide to win every regular season game and then postseason game and just go undefeated this year. Supplanting the Miami Dolphins is the only team to do it. All right, let me scroll to the top of the screen and get you guys in. And hey, let me know what you guys are doing for the game. I know a lot of you guys will be celebrating, having a good time, and enjoying all the above. Michael D, greetings, salutations, coach and Duke Crew, exclamation points, one pride, and back at you, JDC, morning all, and with you, Silver, good morning, coach, and all Lions fans. I concur. JDC, tick, tick, tick. We're ticking away. Hey, also let me know. I'm trying to add more graphics to the show. Do you guys like the graphics? I guess let me know. That's the only way I know if you do or don't. Bo Booth, good morning, Duke Crew. We're here. We're here. Exclamation point. Woo! And it's good to see you, as always, Bo. Michael, glad J-Mo resigned. Me too, man. One less thing to worry about. There was speculation. We all are aware that the Lions would let him go after this year, that Tesla was his replacement. Well, we can put that to rest now. I think, man, you look going forward, if Tesla is anywhere near the hype train that we're anticipating on him, look at that Lions wide receiver corps for the next 2 to 3 years. Jameson Williams, Tesla, St. Brown, and who knows, maybe Khalif Raymond or somebody else re-signs, or maybe just, Dominic Lovett develops. Maybe Jackson Meeks is the answer. That Lions wide receiver corps is looking pretty dang good for a long time to come. All right, just greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. Glad they got J-Mo wrapped up. Now it's time to beat down the Packers and get Hutchinson's deal done. I like the way you're thinking. Johnny L., good morning, folks. And with you, Drake, I would think this means Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes have seen enough with Williams to where they want him resigned before he puts up a big year. Yes, I agree with you there. I think that's probably why they did it today. I guess it would be today at midnight. France, great move to start off game day 1. Let's go Lions! Exclamation point. Concurred. Johnny L., how much did he get? And now you know. And knowing's half the battle. Michael D., the Lions agreed to a 3-year, $83 million deal. Yes, they did. Yes, they did indeed. Stephanie Wilder, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. Got called into work this morning, so please no one make life hard on me today, and I'll be done in time for the game. Ha! Hey, we'll try to make sure with nobody's speeding in your vicinity. Try to make it an easy day for you. Johnny, thank you. Michael D., be safe, Stephanie. 100%. Not always an easy line of work for sure. Johnny L., thank you. Michael D. is a thumbs up Lions fan, is strong for football. George, buenos dias, Mr. Danny and the Duke Crew, exclamation point. Woo! Well, hey, I got to remember how to say it. Anyways, I'll get back to it later. Como va su dia? Have a good day. How about that? Let's see. Hookadoo. Good morning, Duke Crew. Parsons, you better watch your back, and I mean that literally. Exclamation point. Lions going to come and get you today and shred some cheese. I think they're going to go after him. And again, we talked about it earlier. Who knows how much he actually plays? My guess is it's probably on a pitch count, a snap count, probably obvious passing down situations. But who knows? Maybe he's going to play the whole game. I think we're going to test him out one way or the other. Henry Moore, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. What a team. What a podcast. Exclamation point. What a time to be a Lions fan. Woo! And good to see Henry. Trey, what's going on, everybody? Question mark. I think Brad was smart to not sign Z. He's going to use that money to help lock up Williams and Hutchinson. Yeah, it could be just that. We've all speculated that the Lions are going to take some of that $32 million and roll it into next year. Well, you know what? You probably just use some of it on Williams. got his numbers down for the future, and you still have some money to roll into next year. All right, Silver Star Coach, I'm so happy Detroit signed my boy, my JMO. Now Lions got 4 more years of St. Brown and Tesla and 5 more of Jameson Williams. Not bad for golf. No, not bad at all. Jeff, we're here in Green Bay going to the game and tailgating with some friends that live here later today. Should be a great way to open the year. Exclamation point. Sounds like you're going to have a great time behind enemy lines. Alec Tipson, Z's contract was performance-based, only $9 million if he hits all of his incentives. Correct with that. Now, why didn't they resign him? We can all speculate. Maybe he doesn't fit into defensive schemes we're going to use. Maybe there was a difference between him and the team. I don't know that as of yet. Susan, how much did JMO get? Now you know. Alec, incentives. Yeah, I knew where you were going with that, man. I got you. Cynthia, good morning, all. Exclamation point. Watching the game with Bills fans and Steelers fan, but today for the first time they're gonna hear this Detroit Lions fan roar. Exclamation point. Go Lions! Woo! Hey, let it roar, my friend. Let it unleash. Unleash the beast that is the lion within you. Johnny L. Yo, my brother Grit is right here. Hookadoo. Correct with that. Jason, greetings, sanitation, Drew Crew, game time, exclamation point. Man, we're getting close, aren't we? Alex, smart to lock up JMO. All that nonsense about Tesla was his replacement was comical. It is, and now it's been confirmed. Ain't no chance of it. Stephanie, hoping for a big win by our team. I am down with that. Next, Hookadoo. Duke Crew, please don't treat 94 in the Grand Rapids area today like the Autobahn for Stephanie. She has a game to watch. There you go. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that does seem to be about the area she normally works. Amy Spray, good morning, Duke Crew, and our fearless leader, the ultra fabulous Coach Dan. Thank you for that. Of the Best Lions podcast. Exclamation point. Everyone punch those buttons. Jameson Williams can go everywhere on the field. Game day, roar, crew, do crew. How about that? With the exclamation points. Thank you for that, Amy. Thank you very much. Michael Williams will earn $67 million guaranteed on the new deal. Correct. And hey, that's not small chump change. Okay, game. I knew where you're going. Eggs were great, man. Talking about somebody I haven't seen in a hot second. Good morning, Dan and the Duke Crew. Perfect timing for signing JMO, saving the team big money in the future. Detroit 31, Green Bay 20. Let's take that. I'll take that indeed. 5 Fairies ready. Stephanie, I think we are going to dominate today. I think we all are going to agree with that. Let's hope so. Cynthia, all right. We got Waymo JMO, indeed. Let's see, Mary Smith, good morning, Duke Crew and Lions Nation. I'm up and I'm so excited. Can't wait to see the $83 million man on the field. It's going down, Duke Crew. Go Lions, 100%. And I want to see how they're going to use him. I know JMO is confirmed through his own lips that he's being allowed to do a lot more stuff that he couldn't before or wasn't allowed to do before with Ben Johnson. Let's see how much this guy has really grown and developed. Michael, worth every penny. Michael D, I concur. Alec? Our strength of this team goes through the offense. You don't get better by letting them walk. No, I agree with that. Keep the good talent around. It's hard to find it. Michael, Lions football strong, one pride, exclamation point. Woo, I'll take that. Johnny L, I knew that they were going to get it, do something for JMO, and now you knew about Jameson Williams. Steve Rogers, I'm glad inked him now and not after he has a big year. Yeah, because we all know that price tag only goes one way. Okay, Johnny L. It's going to be a roaring day for the Lions. Rip to the grit out of them Packers. I concur. Kurt Steele, Waymo, how you doing, man of Steel? Alec, if Hutch deal will take longer because he'll be the highest non-quarterback player, if not the highest paid player in the league. Much more involved. Could be, yeah. Well said. Hookadoo, JMO, beep, beep, bye-bye, Coyotes. Let's fly by him. Mary Smith, good morning, Professor Steele. Yes, we got him. Love to JMO, 100%. The guy keeps growing up, keeps developing. I get he's tripped a little bit here and there, but you know what? Lions obviously feels comfortable with him. Kurt Steele, Hutch, Barnes, Davenport didn't play a snap against the Packers last season, and the Lions still swept them. To your point, I was at the gym yesterday on the treadmill. I was listening to some stuff, and I was listening to, I won't call them out, but there were a couple former players who had podcasts out there, worked for ESPN and a couple other places, Amazon, and they're all saying the same thing. Well, Parsons is going to make a big difference to the team because, they nearly didn't beat the Packers last year, and Parsons didn't play for them, so they must beat them this year. I did respond on one of them and just said, well, you do know Aiden Hudson didn't play in either one of those games because your what do I want to say? Not scouting department, but your facts and analytics departments let you guys know that. Also, question: do you think the 5 to 6 Lions starting defensive players that didn't play in either one of those games will make an impact on this game? Since Parsons is going to make an impact, I'm thinking those 5 players for Detroit will probably make an impact too. I have yet to hear a response from Richard Sherman and some of the other ones. Let's see. Kurt Steele, Mary Smith, yes, mama, exclamation point. Quentin, Gritty and Sanitations, Dooku, Jay Powell, about to go off on the NFL starting today, boy. I'm down with that. And yes, I agree. I think he's going to put up some numbers. Okay, no need to search party today. Mama Grit is in the house early today. Jay, good morning. Mary Smith, good morning to you both. Johnny L., yeah, we're going to get that done for sure. Alec, let's see, Kurt Steele. Oops, I forgot. What up, though, Duke Crew? What's up, Man of Steel, with an exclamation point. Vincent, J-Mo got paid. Let's go. I think we're going to go all over him all season long. Jason, perfect weather today for the game. It is, man. You couldn't ask for a better setup to play in Lambeau. Most of the team healthy. No excuses. Step up and show up 100% there. Agreed with that with an exclamation point. Michael, Hutch going to show the NFL he's back stronger than ever and going to break that 22.5 sack record. If he could just get the record today and put up just, say, 23 sacks, I mean, man, how much stress would you take off him? Tori, I guess the team knows he's grown up and becoming great like our whole team will be today. No, I think they believe in him fully, to your point. I think we're just starting to hit our prime as a Detroit Lions team. Jason, Man of Steel in the house, exclamation point. Kurt Steele, Jason Berry, good morning. Johnny L., how are you feeling, Kurt Steele? We'll find out. Sosmo, game day finally. Yeah, it feels like forever, but we're finally here, right? Robert, greetings, and back at you. Mary Smith, Hookadoo, yes, sir, Mr. Grit, my grit brother. Are you ready to get that grit going? We'll get it going early and often. Kurt Steele, Johnny L., better. I'll be good to go tomorrow. Hey, get ready for tomorrow then. Let's see, Pat, the Packers are in a panic. Might be true. Kurt Steele, be right back. We'll see you soon. JDC, Limbo Field, home of the Lamers. They are kind of lame, aren't they? Hookadoo, Mary Smith. It's like a plant. You water it, and they will grow. All right? Silver Surfer, Hutch could take an extension on top of the 2 remaining seasons if he got less as they picked up his 5th-year option. I say 4 years, $160 million, $120 guaranteed, as Micah's contract is off market price. Okay? Mary, Amanda Hookadoo. Don Burr with the new thumbnail, by the way. Brad waited until Zadarius Smith signed and said, here, hold this, laughing out loud, love it, 100%. Yeah, they did seem like they kind of got that all figured out. Mary Smith, Don Burr, laughing at you, 100%. John, good morning, exclamation point, back at you, John. Don Burr, Brad Holmes said, talk about this instead of Zadarius. Ooh, could be. Yeah, filled up with the headlines there. Manberg, greetings, salutations, and same to you. Johnny L., there's going to be a whole lot of Sonic and Knuckles today. I agree. I think it's just going to be part of every game's game plan. Leonard, greetings, salutations, Coach Dan and the Duke. J-Mo gave the Detroit Lions and his brothers a TB12 discount. Ooh, there you go. Good thinking there. Will others follow suit to chase rings is the big question. Go Lions, exclamation point. To your point, let's just say Hutchinson only signs for $42 million a year. I would say that would confirm your point there, Leonard, that, yeah, maybe a little bit of a hometown discount. Big D, skip you, man. I knew we're so happy he's locked in here. Woo! Waymo is going to stay Mo. Yes, he is, my friend. 100%. Alec, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Week 1 usually is. If the Lions can run that ball, they win. If they can't, they will be a long game. Yeah, we'll see what the Packers are going to do to limit the Lions' running game, how much does running game set up the pass game, etc. Answer 14, gritting and sad tasteless coach and Duke Crew. Game on! Exclamation point. Mary Smith. Don't forget Superman first interception of the day. Let's make that happen. Man Bear language, Big D. That's why, yep, my friend. Dre Day. Can't believe the Lions overpaid for a number 2 receiver. Rather than $7 million of that to Laporta instead of Brad knows best. Go Lions. Yeah, I think Laporta's contract will be next season, though. That's my guess, Dre Day. Williams, let's go Lions. Skip Green Bay. We'll be skipping all over them there, William. Don Burt, Johnny, I'm cool with a lot of Sonic and Knuckles, but if it's not working, run game. Don't do like Michigan last night. Run because we are stubborn and get exposed. Yeah, could be. I didn't watch much of the game last night. I watched a little bit of the first quarter. Let's see, Michael. Hey, Coach, can we get a game day Sheila and Ric Flair? Woo! Combo today. Man, I don't know if I can do a combo, but let me see if I can get you how about a Sheila at least? 1, 2, 3. I just got to find that stupid thing on my screen because there's so many things on here nowadays. It does get a little congested. Somewhere on here. Well, maybe I can't find it. Here it is. There you go. Yeah, got you at least one of them. Big D, but I'm happy he signed. Me too, man. I'm happy he signed. Michael, I'm anxious to see both the offensive line and defense line do. I want to see what they're going to do as well. Johnny, Detroit is going to dominate. I like the way you're thinking. Coach Rock, good grit morning, Hookadoo, and Johnny and Mary and all the Duke crews. Today's the start of a great season. It is going to be a start of a great season. Let's make it so. I can't wait for the post-game show. Answer 14, talent locked in with another signing. Brad really is pretty good at this stuff. We all bear witness to something great. Well, the Lions are going to prove themselves to be great this year. Okay, Love sure ain't going to be feeling any love today. No, let's knock him down and beat him down. Drop a big elbow off the top rope when the refs aren't looking. Jason Laporta is healthy. Exclamation point. J-Mo's paid. Hey, sounds like a good start to the year. Alec, what makes you think Detroit will dominate Johnny L? I will see what Johnny has to say. Jennifer, morning all. Back at you. Alec, it's week 1 and on the road. It is on the road. It is indeed. Hey, but it's for a field to the west, right? We've won there 3 straight times, I want to say. DM5, congrats, J-Mo. He's going to ball out today. Will he boss up while he's balling out? That's the big question everybody wants to answer. I smelled 2 TDs in Lambeau. Let's hope it's 2 TDs for J-Mo in the first quarter. Mr. Nico, brothers and sisters in Duke Crew, let us feed. Let's feed all on the Packers. Mary Smith, good morning, my grip brother. James, I'm so happy for Waymo, J-Mo. I concur. JDC, Lambeau Field, home of the Lamers. They are. Bo, I'll take Lions, both field for 200. Alex, exclamation point. I'll go with that. 89, Dr. Funk. That Micah game yesterday, that Michigan game yesterday, really messing with you this morning. Dang it, laughing out loud. Yeah, I don't know. I know they lost, but that's about all I can tell you. Johnny L, hey, that's just me being me. Alec, okay. Leonard, game day, exclamation point. Woo, and back at you. Leonard, James, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, same to you, James. Good to see you, my friend. Jennifer, paid J-Mo and his burners will be going today. I think they will be. Al, talk about somebody I haven't seen in a hot second. Good to see you, Al. Greetings and salutations. It's finally game day. Exclamation point. Las Vegas Flintstone is in the house. Hey, you're up awfully early and probably getting ready for the game, right? Mary Smith, good morning to all my grit sisters of Lions Talk Live, and same with you all. String Theory, another person I haven't seen in a hot second. Good morning from the zoo. Hey, it's always a good place in Kalamazoo, ain't it? Good place to be. Cynthia, good morning. Queen Mary, exclamation point. Michael, glorious morning to you, Mary Smith, and with a smiling and thumbs up. Silver, Coach, what do you say? Question mark. Whoever today wins the run and ball / stops the run battle, we win the game and perhaps the division. Just a thought. No, I'd say Silver, that's football 101. If you can run the ball and you can stop the run, you got a pretty good shot. I think both of these teams are pretty legit. I think both of them are Super Bowl contenders. I just think, probably because I'm biased, but I think the Lions have just a little bit more talent, a little bit more experience. I'm still not 100% sold on Jordan Love. I think, 2 years ago, he had a phenomenal 8-game stretch to end the year. To be fair to him, last year, I thought his last, 5 to 7 games were pretty dang good. Can he be more consistent? If he does that, the Packers are going to be a real threat to not just the Lions, but every team in the NFL. Let's see, William. Game day, so excited, so happy we extended J-Mo. Me too. All balls, no D. Good morning, Duke Crew. We are ready for some football. Are you ready for some football? I bet you are. Steve, it's a steel contract. Yeah, I would say we got a pretty good deal there. I mean, J-Mo did us a solid there. Don Burt, Brad Holmes did this so y'all wouldn't talk about defensive ends all day until 4:25. Hey, man, it's still going to happen. Let's be real. If the Lions go out and put out like 10 sacks today or something like that, then maybe the fan base doesn't talk about it as much. But if that doesn't happen, it's going to happen then as far as the chatter. Okay, Grit, Rick or Coach Rock, how about the real grit starts today as we pound down the Fudge Packers. Let's pound them down. Skip Green Bay, says Donnie Burr. Steve, the 13th and wide receiver contract, and that is for a few years, will be out of the top 25. Yeah, probably by, a year and a half from now. To your point, Steve, good to see you, by the way. Yeah, this J-Mo contract is going to be very, very team-friendly. Michael, welp, I'm not a sister. Exclamation point. It happens, man. It happens. Steve, great contract for Lions and Lockdown Williams. There you go. Steve, in his prime. He is in his prime. All balls, good morning, hookadoo. James Allen, I knew there's a reason why Zadarius Smith wasn't re-signed by Lions. This could be it. Could be a contributing factor. 89, Dr. Funk, Don Burt, man, everyone got their minds focused on the defensive end. All balls, grit, and back at you, Anthony. 9 drinks. Good morning, Duke Crew. Same to you. Hookadoo. And yes, folks, we have Anthony in today spreading his grit. Oh, yeah, it's always good when he can make a little time out of his busy schedule to get on over here. Burger time. Always good to see you, my friend. It's been a hot second. Good morning, Coach. It's game day. Let's go Lions. Exclamation point. Happy for J-Mo. He's going to ball out this year. Yes, he is. No doubt about that. Johnny L, I say skip them all. We'll skip all of them. Kurt Steele, elevation happens yesterday. There we go. Yes, they did. James, we got to take care of some of our own people who are drafted and developed before we take care of them. Yeah, we'll go with that. Berg time, good morning, Hookadoo. Hope all is well. Go Lions. Silver Server. Jones on IR, Skipper not 100%. Yeah, I don't think they're going to make any moves today. If I don't mistake, Decker coming back from injury, he is coming back. Boy, it would be all up to Manu, who would not be left alone against Parsons. No, my guess is you'll probably see a couple of the guys who are on the offensive line get moved around to help out if Manu, if they don't believe Manu's quite ready. But the other part of it is, since Skipper wasn't elevated yesterday, it's probably a tell the Lions coaching staff actually likes Giovanni Manu. All right, see, James, good morning, Mary. Good morning, Kurt. There you go. Mary Smith, Michael, good morning. Chris Steele, I love Sailor signed to the active roster. Vaki may be in the shelf for a while. Yeah, with that hamstring, it does seem like it's going well for him. Sergeant Hall, hey, good to see you. Been a hot second. Greetings and salutations all. Exclamation point, game day. Woo! Go Lions. Well, the wait is over. Man, down to just, 7 hours, something like that. Look at Berg time. Good morning. Lions going to tear Green Bay a new hole today. We'll find out. All balls Tesla TD today. We'll see if that happens. String theory. The Packers love to throw the ball and Detroit defenders. Let's see if they can throw some pick sixes. Server. There was a North Dakota offensive tackle on the practice squad, right? Question mark. Who knows if they elevated him? Yeah, if they haven't elevated him already, or like if they didn't do it yesterday, they're not going to be on the roster today. Don Burt, man, I've been up since 5 a.m., laughing out loud, couldn't sleep, really, ready to melt some cheese. Hey, who doesn't like melted cheese, especially when you put a little hot sauce in it? Dre Day, Josh Jacobs is going to be a challenge to stop this year. Yeah, especially game 1, game 2 of the season, when veteran running backs, they're going to be as good as they've been all year probably because they're healthier. He's going to bring some energy. The guys are loaded to stop. Can the Detroit Lions defense hold them down? We'll have to wait until later today to see, but I think so. All right, Sarge Lions 38, Cheeseheads 10. I'll take that. Thank you for that. Mary Smith, good morning. James Allen, back at your boat. Johnny L, grilled cheese and hot sauce. I like the way you're thinking. Moonscar praying for no significant injuries to the Detroit Lions. Exclamation point, go Lions. And hey, I like that is, let's hope for no injuries. For your thoughts there, Moonscar Blade. Good to see you, my friend. Joseph, I was up very early, Don. Hey, 2. You were 2 up very early. Me too. Silver Coach Sailors was not actually elevated from the practice squad. He was actually signed to the 53. Yes, correct with that. From the practice squad to the 53. James, while Michael Parsons busting his chops about Detroit, the Lions rather do their talking on the field. I think they're going to do a whole lot of talking on the field with their play. Johnny, it's probably going to be a little sloppy of a game today. Yeah, game 1s usually are. You've seen some stuff with some of the first 2 games we've seen so far. How sloppy? I'd say you get through the first quarter and it probably starts getting better and better. All balls 30-17 Lions. I like it. Chris Steele, rumors are Nate Hobbs may not play today. Yeah, I know he's been dealing with some stuff. If that holds true, Kurt Steele, then you know what? That secondary for the Packers, you start diving into the depth real early. Cynthia, James Allen's exactly. Exclamation point. String theory, 42-10. I'd take that. Michael, 34-17. Another acceptable score. Mary Smith, I think the whole Duke crew was up. We can't wait to see our boys on that field. It's going to be a long offseason. It's going to be a long offseason for the Green Bay Packers. Agreed. Michael, MCDC equals Newt Rodney 2.0. Might be accurate. Silver, Johnny, interesting, I guess. 89 Funk, James Allen, I agree. The Lions been very quiet while Michael Parsons been talking big smack. I think the Lions win. I bet the Lions will be will let it be known to stop playing with them. Yeah, don't play with the Detroit Lions for sure. Vincent E, I don't like Raymond at 3. I think you're going to see him there from time to time for sure, but not the entire time. Look at 34-24 Lions roar. They're roaring all over. Bain, Raymond as a kick receiver was the most fun. All right. Dre Day, Raymond as a kick returner. The number 3 is Tesla since Patrick is gone. We'll find out today. You could be right. Summer's hard, Coach. I wouldn't mind if on the first offensive play of the season, Lions would field both Knuckles and Sonic. Yeah, I think you're going to see it from time to time. I think the Lions are going to use some 2 running back sets. Johnny Gas Sports, game day, Duke crew, exclamation point. Who is ready? I'm going to guess everybody in the chat is ready. All balls, what the Packers failed to realize is Hutch wasn't there last year in either game. Stinks to be them. Hot for sacks. Yes, he's hot for sacks. Yeah, and again, how can you tell with some of the national media, they just have somebody produce notes for them and hand it to them. The fact that like on ESPN and then Richard Sherman podcast, and there was like 2 or 3 others I've watched this week. Not one of them mentioned the fact that there were 5 to 6, including Hutchinson, Lions defenders that didn't play against the Packers. I mean, that seems like a bit of a loss for the Detroit Lions, and yet they still won. Mary Smith, 89, Dr. Funk Allen, no 100%. Phil, greetings, salutations, coaching Duke crew, back at you. Burger time, 37-20, Lions, exclamation point. Johnny L, Thunder and Lightning all day long. I concur. Hutch, 3.5 sacks. I would take that all balls. Hookadoo, Anthony, Love is going to be feeding some real pain today. Let's hope we get him to feel some pain. All balls agreed 100%. Mega Hustle, great sign at JMO. Radio was saying the main ones pushing for Zedarius. Could be. Yeah, Radio might have been the main ones pushing for Zedarius Smith. Mary Smith, Johnny L, Johnny Gaz, we excited. Can't wait until kickoff. Let's go, Lions. Let's get it here. 4 years, $200 million, 160 guaranteed is my guess for Hutch. You might be right with that. Iliam, what do you got? Though one thing we can all agree on today: skip Green Bay. I like the way you're thinking. All balls. I was told everyone Z was not going to be a Lion this year from the start. Yeah, maybe they knew right off the bat. Johnny Guess. Let's go, Mary! Exclamation point. Bain, spot on. All balls. Davenport is going to have his best season. I think you're right with that. 89, Dre, I said the same thing. 4 at $200 million. Michael, I don't think the announcers will be able to catch up with the Lions team today. We'll find out. Hopefully they do a better job than Rich Eisen did with the Brazilian game. And no disrespect to Rich Eisen. I know he had a lot of players wrong on both teams. I almost feel like he didn't get much sleep or something like that when he broadcasted that game, and it can be tough. I know I messed things up. Anthony, I really thought he would be back. Well, I think a lot of people did question that. All balls, Davenport, 10+ sacks. We'll take that. Jason, 35-24 Lions. Tesla gets his with 65 yards and a TD. Let's make that the very first play of the game. Johnny L, yo, Johnny Gas Sports. What's the good word? We'll find out. JDC, you betcha, Johnny. Let's see. Detroit Lions storm front is forming in Green Bay. Thunder and Lightning, twisters from the left, twisters from the right. Hey, it sounds like a dance song. Phil, just praying for Davenport to stay healthy. Poor kid is great, but unlucky. He has been a little unlucky. Johnny Gas, what's the good word? Johnny L, big day today. It's going to be a big day. Pierce, let's see. Generally thought JMO was going to be the odd man out. Yeah, I think a lot of people were wondering that. Now we know it's not going to be. All right, guys, we got about 8 minutes left, so I'm going to power through, get some people on who haven't been on as much. All balls. I believe we're going to have a lot of 2-back sets. Me too. Unleash JMO. Johnny, you definitely got that right, JDC. Dre Day, JMO should have been the odd man out, but it is what it is. Well, they believe in him, so let's see what they got with him. JMO Lion King, keep pounding the rock. The NFL is about the matchups, and I don't see the Packers D-line being able to hang in there with us for 4 quarters. No, I think you're right with that, especially with the loss of Clark. I was really surprised by that. String, I will play defensive end for $40 million. Am only 7 years old. Hey, if they give me $2 million a year, I'd play it. Phil, will there be trick plays? I think the Lions are probably going to go away from it. But that being said, who knows? I think that was part of the issue MCDC had with Ben Johnson. But in the year, just felt like we relied too much on trick plays. Trina and Christina Conway, good morning on this Sunday. Play as a team. Lions 30, Packers 10. Woo! Nope, I'll take that. Pierce, Davenport, put up or shut up time. I would say you're probably spot with it. 89, Sir, I don't think Tesla will get that much run at all today. Dan loves vets. Tesla, we shall see. We'll see. Trina Christina, defense has to be on point today. Yes, indeed, I concur. Vincent E will never understand just JMO haters. Yeah, okay. A vape. Great football morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Shame on you all who that wanted to get rid of JMO. Woo! Yeah, well, let's see. Hopefully he lives up to the hype, right? I hope he will. See, Joseph, Davenport's contract reflects his injured history. That is correct. George, go Lions! Exclamation point. Woo! And good woo to you too. Pierce, Joseph, yet for sure does. Okay. Queen Mary, them cheeseheads is not going to know what hit them. Our Lions are going to be starving. They're coming out to hunt. Believe me, they're going to eat. Yes, they're going to eat up the Packers. I think you're correct with that. Coach Rock, if we label injury prone on Davenport, I would say there's a few other players having a tough time staying healthy. So let's hope the bug get stepped on. Yes, sir. Woo! Yeah, I hope we do keep the injury bug away. For sure. Dunbert, Pierce, Davenport, 2 sacks late. Let's take that. That's it. 1,000-yard receiver isn't good. Okay. Danielle, this is going to be fun today. I think it's going to be a fun day for us, for sure. No doubt about it. Hookadoo. Lions are going to eat up so much cheese today. They're going to be constipated. Well, hopefully we can get some laxatives. Sam Laporto will be the guy today. I think you're right, Don Burr. Cynthia, Paying J-Mo just gave him even more wind underneath his wings. Exclamation point. Tear it up, J-Mo. I hope he goes crazy on him. JDC, crazy legs golf for 19 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. I like the way you're thinking. Richard, Cleet Blackman officiating crew is assigned to the Lions-Packers game today. Yeah, he's got a bit of a history with the Lions. The Lions have had some wins with him, so let's hope it's not an issue. Leonard, health, you got to love good health. All balls, we got several more to sign up, and we're going to do it. Brad's going to make that happen. I think you're right with that. I think Brad's going to get it done. Pierce, 4 massive contracts left that need to happen. We'll see what happens. Jameer, congratulations. J-Mo, good to see you, my friend, this morning. And yes, congrats to J-Mo. Silver's our hooker. No yellow diarrhea on the way back up. I hope not. Big D, Dre D. Have you watched a tape on last year? If J-Mo, if you don't mind, we'll change. We'll see what changes with those played here today. Strength theory, J-Mo is faster than a speeding defender. Might be accurate. Let's see, a few more here. Vincent E. J-Mo led the league in yak yards. He did. Number Randall L. is a cheerleader more than a coach, running up and down the sidelines, jumping and slapping. Well, he's over in Chicago now, but maybe he'll still be cheering for Jameson Williams. JDC, I ain't scared. Go Lions! Exclamation point. I like the way you're thinking. Coach Rock, good morning. Kurt, glad to see you're almost off the injured list. Yes, he's almost back to full strength. James, Aiden Hutchinson will become unaffordable if he balls out during the season. Sign him now while he's cheap. $300 million extension sounds reasonable. It could be if he has a big season. Dr. Detroit, I want to see us dominate. Exclamation point. I like the way you're thinking. Number, Pierce, Jack Campbell's contract will be team-friendly. I hope you are right with it. I hope all contracts are team-friendly. String theory, 6 receivers on the field at all times. We kind of do have that, don't we? Vince E., Hutch going to have love running for his life today. On fire. Yes, let's hope he is on the run and not accurate when he's passing on the run. Joseph, Detroit Lions offense going for 7,000-plus yards. Wouldn't that be something? Miles Martin, Grip Morning, Rock, Pierce, Don, I don't think Hutch, Laporta, Gibbs, and Branch will be team-friendly. We'll find out in time, won't we? Dr. Detroit, no Super Bowl team has ever won with $40 million in cap space, FYI, so Brad knows this. Exclamation point. Hutch is not part of that space. Brad hoodwinked everyone. May be accurate, very accurate. James Allen scored 27-21. Lions over Packers. I like the way you're thinking. Dre Day, Chase, and Jefferson lead the NFL in yak yards last year. FYI, Vincent E. Lions player was J-Mo. Okay. Let's see. Okay, got that one. Sorry about that. Mary Smith, I just want my boys to stay healthy and shut Parsons up. Give him more reasons to not like Detroit. Yes, you agreed with that 1,000%. Vince E. Okay, Dre Day, laughing out loud. 89, Pierce Sargent, notice the years on the contract. There are like 3 to 4 years max. We are maybe able to keep all them players you mentioned. Yeah, I think we'll definitely try without a shadow of question of doubt. JDC, Puff, woo, coffee, and Lions Talk Live. Good way to start your morning. Bo, graphics are looking good, Coach. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Dr. Detroit, the 46 looks, look that up, bro. We'll check it out. Yeah, could be. We run the 4-6. There you go. Richard, Lions 24-17. Go Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Joseph, puff, pass. Okay. Michael, exactly, Pierce. Sergeant, why waste money on overpriced fossil when you're looking for a retirement check in Zadarius Smith? Yeah, could be. Trina Christina, congratulations on your new contract. Jameson Williams, I agreed with that. Trying to get through here as many as we can here. Big M, I don't know why people think that players will give the Lions contract-friendly deals. Question mark, why? Because we are Detroit. They want to get paid for risking their well-being. Yeah, very true. Roderick, 17-0. I like the way you're thinking. Look at Mary. God made typos for a reason. We all make them. Yeah, for sure. I do them all the time. Church, good morning, all. It's game day. Let's go, Lions. Let's own the North. Woo! I'm down with that with an exclamation point. Pat, JDC, puffing and coffee this morning with Lions Talk Live. Game on, go Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Learning coach from my cousin Sheila Hamp with favorite words. Woo! Yeah, you got to love the Sheila Hamp woo, don't you? Dr. Troy, and sign our guys. Let's try to sign all of our guys. JD, what up, though? Lions are going to give the Packers an old school 4 horsemen beatdown. Exclamation point. I would take that. JK, no Maz. Okay, we'll go with no Maz. Lauren, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke crew. Back at you, Lauren. How's your morning going today? Johnny L, I need a beer already. Hey, it is game day. JDC, Poot, Buddy Love, and the Cheddars, Don Bird, Dr. Detroit, Egon. Hopefully we end up with a position where guys take a chunk of their salaries to win. Bradley did it. Mahomes did it. That's 10 Super Bowls right there. Brady did it, excuse me. Maybe there is something to that. It could be something to that. Can't hurt, right? Out the top, We all hear, even if we don't comment all the time. But you got me ready for this game, this season, these playoffs, this championship. Let's go Detroit, 100%. Let's get it all done this year. Let's go win it all. Paperback fan, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. Finally, game day, 42-13. Lions dominate! Exclamation point! Woo! I concur. Let's see, Don Burr, Pierce. I could see that also, but pay attention to the void years. Hey, he's Brad Holmes. It's going to use that loophole, definitely, I think. Yeah, especially you look at the Kirby contract. I think he's definitely got something going on there. All right, keeping on going here. Kerry, please provide us all doubters wrong, Davenport. I'll bite my tongue all season hoping you prove me wrong. I'll go with that. Yeah, hopefully he does do a lot of that. Pat, I heard that Hutchinson's contract was was ready, but he didn't sign. Did you hear anything? I have not heard anything about that. No, I haven't. But you could be right. Could be. Vernon, we ready for the cheese heads. I'll go with that. Coach Rock, Mary, sounds like a great day for me. Fun with that family. Have fun with your family. General, what do you got? Good morning, Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Going to watch party in London, Ontario. Anyone out there going there? We'll find out. Go enjoy it. Have a great time. Cheer the team on. Don Burr plus the Ryle over cash. We'll go with that. Don Burr, Lions, a whole lot to the Packers 3. We'll put it that way. Vernon, Lions 42-6. I would think we'd all be excited with that. All day, 30 points. I think we would be okay if we won by 30 points. Pierce couldn't hurt Don. Just spitballing options to keep everyone. Yeah, do what he can to keep them all. Dr. Troy's laughing. Hoogadoo. That sounds like a great day. Rock, give her a big woo from the Duke Crew. Give them all a big woo. Lionel, happy game day, Coach Dan and Duke Crew worldwide. Exclamation point. Ready to rock and roll. Thunder and lightning and Thundercats. Ho! I'll take that. JDC, Dre Forge rocks and he rolls. All balls. Come on, 314 watching. Smash that like. Yeah, if you guys can, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit all the buttons. DM5, Lions 31, Whackers 20. Vincent, Skip, we'll go with that. Mary, skip Green Bay. We're all skipping on Green Bay, for sure. All right, we're going to overtime here. Sailors, baby, exclamation point. I'm down with that. Don Burr, y'all getting me hyped. I'm running around the house hollering, skip Green Bay, my girl about to put me out. Let's hope they don't. She don't know who that is. Look at Don Burr, Miles Meyer laughing. Hey, what's this? Hey, thanks for that, man. I will make sure Bobby gets one heck of a tip today at the Circle K. So thank you very much. And just for that, let's give you a 1, 2, and a 3. Again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you very much. For a do and a dog. Go Lions. Oh, yeah. Woo! I will do it just that. Mary Smith, Don Burr, don't get me put in the doghouse before that game. Let's make that sure that does happen. David, genius move by Brand Holmes, 3-year contract. JMO, that contract ends at this exact time Tesla would get a big new contract. More or less the same thing with Saint. Yeah, I'll go with that. See, Josh, Lions offense and defensive players of the game predictions. All right, I'm going to go with, how about Jared Goff? And then, I'm going to throw out Brian Branch. I'm going to go with those two. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Mary Smith, come on. You're welcome. And holler at you all want. We'll holler away. The non-Lavers, 35-7. Lions chew up the Cheddars. Exclamation point. I'm down with that. DM5, Jackson Hutch, JMO, I'm down with them, man. Those would be some good ones, too. Sure, Coach, and don't forget Brian Branch was ejected from that game. Yeah, at Lambeau, halfway through the first quarter. So they played basically 3.5 quarters without him, to your point. Miles Mart, JMO, and Meek football special. Daz out. We'll go with that. James, I wish everyone on here can come and do a meetup in the future. And Lions Talk Live is popping heavy today. Let's see if maybe we can set that up. I know we've tried in the past, just couldn't work it out. The hard part is, you got people in different states or whatever. But hey, if we want to try to orchestrate a LTL meetup, I'm down with that. Go Lions. Woo, says Kenneth. Bo, happy trails, Duke Crew. See you at the game. We'll see you then. Michael, thanks, Coach, for another great show. Exclamation point, go Lions. I'm glad to work for you. James, happy trails and go Lions. Concurred. Benjamin, these players have to ignore the clowns and social media. On the field is the only place that counts. Agreed with that. 1,000%. Coach Rock, hope we can keep Meeks hidden away. We'll see what happens. Belt, says Mary. True Mary, and woo, up the Lions victory. We'll go with that. Rock, Jack. The extension is team-friendly. I agree with you, Jack. 1,000,000% there. Coach Rock, notice Cleveland didn't try to get Smith back. No, they did not, surprisingly. Kurt Steele, I was listening to the background. Hutch has a big game, 34-14. I'll take that. I like the way you're thinking. Jonathan, good morning, everyone. Back at you. Vernon, 14.4K live with Coach Dan. Yeah, if we could just, keep hitting that subscribe button and like button. Let's see, Hookadoo. Kurt, I'm thinking Jim was a stellar game today. Also, I like the way you're both thinking. Coach Rock, you're right, Hookadoo, although I saw him in signing for Social Security. Could be. Let's see, Gary, happy trails. Have a great football Sunday. Go Lions. Woo! We'll see you on the post-game show. Coach Rock, Hutch, and Gibbs bringing it this evening. This is true. Kenneth, Lions 31, Packers 21. Go Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Vernon, full back and nose guard. Okay, Coach Rock, I worked up today to need a 2-hour show. Maybe we should have done that. All right, guys, if there is breaking news before the game, I'll get it over to you as soon as possible. I will not be able to do a live for today's game, helping the Sarge, Tony Libretto out. After that, though, I got to imagine most games I'm going to have a live cast for you. Maybe not all of them, for most of them. I will have a post-game show. So, hey, go cheer on the team. Hang out with some good friends. Hang out with some family. Cheer the game on. All that kind of stuff. If there's breaking news, I'll get it over to you today as soon as possible. If you would be so kind before checking out, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit all the buttons. Cheer the team on. See you in the post-game show victory. And, hey, see you on the next Lions Talk Live. Catch you all later.